we're talking about something that's changing how communities work every day: Agentic AI. Moderating this conversation is our very own Taranjeet, joined by Amanda Jennewein and Preston Mitchell from Jama Software. They'll explore how autonomous AI can enhance engagement, moderation, and analytics while still keeping human insight at the core. Over to you, Taranjeet.
Thank you so much, Ben. And hello, everyone. It's great to have you here. Bill Gates recently spoke about how AI agents are poised to completely change the way we interact with computers, and more importantly, how software itself will evolve. He's right. We are already seeing this unfold in various places, whether it be support or online communities. We are moving from software that follows command to a system that thinks, collaborate, and create alongside us. Of course, with that progress comes both excitement and caution. And that's our focus for today: how AI and human can think, act, and build smarter communities together. To unpack this, I'm joined by two incredible panelists. First up, Amanda Jennewein, Director Customer Support at Jama Software. She has extensive experience scaling global teams, improving operational excellence, and applying AI-powered strategies to strengthen customer outcomes and trust. She focuses on building systems and leaders that drive innovation, growth, and measurable impact across customer experience and operations. Joining her is Preston Mitchell, VP of Solutions and Support at Jama Software. He plays a key role in helping customers improve their system, engineering practices, and has scaled SaaS growth through customer feedback, change leadership, and innovative recurring services programs. Outside work, he enjoys hiking and traveling. Thank you for being here, Amanda and Preston.
Very happy to be here.
So, agentic AI is a term that we all have been hearing lately, and especially in the context of online communities. Amanda, what does agentic AI really mean, and what is the impact it's driving across various user portals, and why does it matter?
Yeah, I think agentic AI isn't just about answering questions faster. It's about enabling systems that learn from human interactions, anticipating customer needs, and acting with context. So I think in online communities, this means AI agents can surface relevant knowledge before a question is posted. It can recommend other expert contributors within the community space, and even identify emerging pain points in near real time. And I think this matters because it creates a more dynamic, self-sustaining ecosystem where every interaction creates increased impact and value. And I think, at Jama, we've seen how a strong knowledge foundation built through knowledge-centered service becomes the backbone of agentic AI to operate effectively. So AI can only be as intelligent as the data and the information it's drawing on. And that needs to be continuously updated by our teams, our subject matter experts who do this work every day.
That's a great perspective. Truly, AI is a co-creator in creating experiences rather than just background systems. In that context, I believe this is also what communities more responsive without losing their human touch. But let's talk about impact. Agentic AI is flipping the script everywhere, whether agents interacting in support portals or how communities engage, personalize, and moderate experiences. Preston, from what you are saying, how is agentic AI reshaping engagement, personalization, and moderation?
Yeah, I see it in a couple of different ways. At Jama Software, we're kind of the provider of the number one requirements management system engineering product on the market. So a lot of our users are system engineers, and they're building very complex products, hardware, software. They need to actually design the specifications and test those products to make sure that they are working the way they are designed. When you talk about how can agentic AI help make those folks' jobs easier, we are thinking a lot about how we can put that directly into the product for them. So for example, we have an AI agent that will help analyze the quality of the requirement statement. Is it clear? Would someone be able to test this actual requirement? And then we're looking in future releases to actually enabling our test engineers to actually have AI read through the requirements and actually suggest test cases to them. It'll always be the system engineer's job to actually review and choose to move forward with those, because we really feel like having the human validate what the AI does is critical. But I see a lot of time efficiencies coming into play for our customers with these tools like this. And then on like the support community side, we've been working with Search Unified to really enable an Agentic AI agent to help answer the first types of initial questions that our customers may have about the product or about maybe some technical issues that they are running into. And that's been a great success where we've seen the ability for customers to self-serve really increase. But it all really depends on, like how Amanda said, it really depends on having a strong knowledge process and foundation that the AI can take advantage of.
Yep. And Amanda, what's your take here?
Yeah, I think in terms of the online community space, I think what it's going to do is it's going to create a smaller and a more personal feel, right? I think when you think about the word community, you want people to come together and gather. And when you think about an online community, especially for a product, there are experts in that space. And so if Agentic AI can really help surface who those experts are, or maybe other users in a particular vertical in our product environment that's tried to solve or troubleshoot a similar issue, or maybe they want to do something outside of the box, it allows a smaller field to find those other collaborators potentially. I think helping match expertise based on the question. And I think for moderators of community, it means more intelligent triage. AI can flag emerging sentiment, misinformation, and even burnout risks among contributors within the community. And I think that makes it more circular. Right now, I think a lot of community managers and moderators, that might feel like a pretty manual process, tedious process.
Yep.
And to be able to deliver more meaningful business insights to really impact where the product needs to go, where customers are having challenges, or where we need to enable customers more, is going to be a really impactful insight for our businesses.
Yeah, absolutely agree. For the moderation, the volume of the content that people get, if Agentic AI can help us, handle that better, then that's the best. And adaptive engagement and intelligent routing definitely help members find value faster and more intuitively.
And I think it's part of what Preston said, right? Not only for our customers, but our internal teams. Anything that reduces the time it takes, then we can create more value in other areas.
Yeah, and I think the LLM reasoning is getting smarter and smarter every day. So the patterns that you wanted to find with the context is getting smarter, right? So earlier, for example, if we wanted to, say that, hey, why don't you follow these 13 set of instructions and try to detect in the moderation if someone is trying to be like not so, openly bad, but there are subtle hints. Agentic AI is able to capture that better and better as we go ahead. And if the Agentic AI is also able to route a certain context to relevant users faster with intelligent routing, it's able to take decisions, then why not? We have seen something similar as you were mentioning, in the projects that we Search Unified did with Jama Software, right? Where we use Agentic AI framework to enable certain things like response assist, where we get the first response from the AI. Use federated search, where we are sourcing answer from multiple places and get the answer in one place, and the agent is able to understand that which context should I use to get the relevant answer. And experience is where it begins, right? Intelligence is where communities starts to scale with intent. So Preston, how does intelligence translate into measurable growth and better decision making?
Yeah, I can think about this in two contexts. One, like what measurable improvements do our customers see in using the Jama Software AI products? And then what do our internal support metrics, where do we see measurable improvements there? So I'll start with the first one. From a customer perspective, our system engineers who are building products using our software, Jama Connect, one of the measurable ways that we look at the maturity of an engineering program is what we call the traceability score.
Yeah.
And very simply, you could imagine if you have a specification requirement and you've got 10 requirements in that specification and 5 of them are covered by a test case, but 5 of them are not, then you've got a 50% trace score. The higher maturity engineering programs are going to have closer, they're not going to have exactly 100%, but they're going to have closer to 100% traceability score. And so we really view it enabling AI to help our customers draft test cases, find relationship gaps, create higher quality requirements. When an AI helps our customers do that, they're going to increase their traceability score. And the reason we care about that is we have evidence, not just from Jama, but from third parties that show the more coverage that you have in testing your product, the less defects you're going to have. So the less recalls, the higher quality product, and even being able to produce your product to your customers faster on a more timely basis. So that's really from the customer perspective. And then for Amanda and I, owning the support teams at Jama and seeing what measurable impacts we have, it's like we really want to see a shift of having our agents spend more time focusing on knowledge management and knowledge collection rather than responding to tickets. But I'd also love to see us, Jama's a growing company, so as we have more active customers, I don't want to see the amount of support tickets increase in the same linear fashion. Ideally, we see that taper off as our customers can self-serve through the AI, or as our AI helps us identify knowledge gaps that we can then publish. So, lots of measurable impacts, but I think really that deflection rate and the level of self-service that our customers are doing, so that we see a curtailing of the amount of tickets per customer over time, is kind of a good measurable impact.
Yeah. Amanda, what would you add here? What Preston said?
Yeah, I think we were already starting to see measurable improvements in self-service and customer satisfaction. And I think when knowledge flows seamlessly between a support portal and AI agents, the same principle also applies in communities, right? When people retrieve trusted answers more quickly, engagement naturally increases. And so to Preston's point about spending more time on knowledge, we also have been using, and we're thinking strategically about how to use some of Search Unify's admin tools to understand where are we seeing new cases that we don't yet have content and knowledge, and how do we pause and create that so that the Agentic AI learns more quickly and more customers can self-serve, and we can spend time focusing on the things we haven't seen before. Really this idea of what do we know, what's repeatable, and what do we need to make really easy for customers to serve and find themselves, so that we can go focus on understanding how to fix and the root causes of things we haven't seen yet. And that's where the support engineers will spend the majority of their time when they're not creating content to help customers solve issues that we
And when we are talking about all of these AI tools that we are bringing into the system, how do we create a culture? How do we create a platform where people are comfortable using it? So in terms of rollout, when we are rolling out these tools, AI agents, what are the common pitfalls teams face when bringing agentic AI into an existing architecture? And what is the smartest way to start small, build trust, and scale responsibly? Amanda?
Yeah, I think, success begins with recognizing that AI is only as powerful as the culture surrounding it. Effective adoption starts by empowering human experts that are on our teams today to capture and structure their knowledge, what they've seen, what they know, and then building a knowledge foundation. And then I think we have to invest early in human AI collaboration. So data quality, knowledge sharing practices, organizations can avoid early pitfalls if we're prioritizing high impact use cases. So understanding what are the use cases, scaling responsibly, and understanding like how do we effectively measure and what should we be measuring as AI agents evolve and complement but not replace human judgment. I think understanding that, right, and continuously improving upon that is going to be some of the pitfalls that I hope
Yeah.
teams avoid, and being able to share within the community what you're seeing. And I
Yeah.
think really involving your team, making sure that the changes you want to implement are transparent and they build trust and they're a part of the testing process, even because these are human experts.
Yeah. Preston, what are your thoughts?
I would echo what Amanda said. I mean, I think a big pitfall is you turn on an AI tool without any kind of knowledge process or knowledge documented. It's only as good as the knowledge that it feeds into it. So like Amanda on our team has done a great job over the last couple of years, really preparing us for this moment in terms of establishing that knowledge process. So we follow the knowledge-centered service methodology. We have a process for how to author articles, how to review them, how to verify them, where they should live. Search Unify allows us to collect knowledge from a variety of different knowledge sources to feed into that AI, but it really is important to make sure that you have that foundation set before you just simply turn on a tool.
And as you rightly said, right? I mean, in the cornerstone of all of this is the knowledge. If the cases if the discussions that we're getting over time, we're able to extract the knowledge and create relevant articles, relevant forums that can help the users when they come next time. We'll see that we are solving more problems, new problems, rather than just going in the loops in the old one. Regarding creating structured knowledge, we see that the tools like OpenAI, Perplexity, they demand the knowledge to be in certain way that is more understandable by the agents and not by the humans itself. As we grow more and more, we will see that there are certain practices happening that allows your content to structure in a certain way that yes, humans can come in and read it, but your documentation should be in such a way that if an agent wants to follow certain instructions and do certain commands on their own, for example, reset the password or make certain things happen while following a certain path, they should be able to do it. So what are your thoughts on that? That how is the knowledge orchestration evolving over the time? We see that Hugging Face, GitHub are making certain changes in their documentation that they are agentic ready. So what are your thoughts on that, Amanda?
Yeah, I think we're actively in the learning process. We had built our knowledge in such a way with the knowledge we had at the time of how the tools were going to impact customers being able to find things. Now that we're working with Search Unify and we're using Agentic AI and generative AI, what we're discovering is we're having to optimize some of the metadata that we're using. We're having to think differently about what are the key pieces of data that are training and teaching Agentic AI, and how do we go back and update previous existing knowledge with those labels, for example, in our case, and how do we build out what that looks like so that we're consistently, effectively building knowledge that is going to continue to train Agentic AI. What does it look like to review content and make sure we're aligned on what's being published and re-verified and published? So yeah, there's continuous improvement. I think being willing to say like, wow, this is something we didn't expect. What's our strategy for improving this, and how do we get everybody involved? I think we're going to continue, as Agentic AI continues to get better and smarter and faster, we're going to have to learn together, and there's going to have to be collaboration with those experts and the folks who are moderating that content so that we can continue to grow and be effective together with this new technology.
What are your thoughts, Preston, on how we can build better content for Agentic AI?
I don't have anything much to add beyond what Amanda said, but really learning, I think as much as you can test with the customer's experience in mind. So I am constantly, going onto our system as if I were a customer and trying out different queries, seeing where we have knowledge gaps, seeing the types of answers it gives, and especially early on when you roll out a new AI tool, that user acceptance testing, putting yourself in the customer's shoes is critically important. And like you guys were a great partner for us in that UAT period to help us tweak or find the particular knowledge articles that we needed to update to make us Agentic AI ready.
As we evolve, I think some of the things about how robust an analytics and governance process should be, like for example, if I give you some suggestion, I'm accountable for the suggestion that I'm giving you, right? But AI can just backtrack on what it's saying. So we see that how do you make sure that there is robust analytics, how there is a robust feedback loop in the process, that AI is able to self-improve and answer certain questions. So from a governance perspective, from an analytics perspective, Amanda, what do you think? What are your expectations from a leadership point of view? That these are the key analytics that help me track that is my AI system performing good, or are the customers getting hallucinated answers or something like that? How do we track that the AI system is getting more aligned to what, like for example, Jama does, rather than just giving answers that are just out there?
Yeah, I think it's important when you're measuring anything, any analytics and data, they need to tie back to business goals and objectives. What are we trying to accomplish? What are our customers trying to accomplish? And linking early cases to measurable outcomes. That's something that I think all businesses, but particularly at Jama, we care deeply about. And so, are you thinking about value creation? Are you looking at cost reduction, efficiency gains, improved customer satisfaction? And I think, to Preston's point, we have to be actively engaged. You can't turn on these systems and tools and walk away and come back and check on numbers. It requires active engagement and collaboration. And so, really transparently, that's the phase we're in now. Like, what are those business goals that we want to tie these success measures to? And also thinking about the culture transformation piece, right? Like, we keep talking about the human experts. Mm-hmm. How do we really ensure they understand the why and define how they are to be an active collaborator and adopting these tools, so that we can really make sure that the people, process, and tools are working in such a way that the goals that we're trying to attain are effectively being met, or we can understand how we're tracking towards success in those business accomplishments and outcomes that we're looking for. Mm-hmm. And we're really living in that space right now and trying to identify and understand what that looks like, while maintaining the KPIs and the things that we value already. It's like, how do we use Agentic AI to help us get there more quickly, more efficiently rather. But I think there has to be continuous communication, collaboration, and I think we need to continue to identify, are these still the right metrics or KPIs, and be able to adapt with that, but always be able to tie it back to business outcomes.
Sure. Yep, absolutely. Preston, do you have any thoughts on that?
I would just say, like, from a more tactical perspective, the three things that I look at from a metric perspective in terms of how our AI is doing is year over year tickets submitted. Are we seeing a decrease or leveling off in that in terms of customers are self-serving, so they don't need to submit a ticket? And then you guys provide us a good CSAT score, right? So every AI interaction our customers have, they can give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So we get some good data on that. And the ones that they rate a thumbs down, that's actually probably an opportunity for us to improve the knowledge that the AI is feeding off of, so we can learn from those thumbs down interactions. Yep. And then I think the third and last one is really just what we do on and a lot of companies do on an annual basis is a net promoter score. So we have some specific call outs to our customers on how their support experiences are. They have an opportunity to give us some actual textual qualitative feedback as well in that.
Sure. Thank you so much for that. And of course, right, as you said, that it's a ongoing experience, right? As the Agentic AI is evolving, we'll see that more and more challenges, while maintaining the key KPIs and the CSAT scores. How do you affect, with the thumbs up, thumbs down, or with the explicit feedback in the form of comments or something like that? How do you continuously maintain, the feedback loop running, so that it delivers and learns from the experience that it's gaining? So I think, thank you both for such thoughtful perspectives. If I may add, at the end of the day, it's not just a technical rollout, it's a trust journey between technology teams and the community. I'll just take on some of the quick questions that we have in the forum. So Matt Stone is asking that what is one piece of advice you give to a company that is just starting their agentic AI journey? Amanda, do you want to take that on?
Yeah. Gosh. Just starting on the agentic journey, I think really understanding what are the use cases, like what are you trying to accomplish? I think when you think about the tool component of it, thinking about what are your requirements, what are you trying to accomplish, and how do you identify a company, a tool that's going to align with helping you achieve those accomplishments. I think having a lot of conversation, seeking to understand even some of the use cases from the teams who are going to use the agentic AI is really important. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the things that come top of mind.
Yeah. Thank you for that. James Stephen has another question. How do you balance AI automation with the human touch? Preston, do you want to take that on?
Yeah, I think I am a big proponent of letting AI suggest an answer or response, but then having the human validate it, and then the human is the one who provides then that final response. And we do that both in our own Jama Software product with its AI solutions, where it'll suggest a test case, but ultimately the system engineer is the one actually approving, yes, that's the test case I want to use, or have the ability to tailor it and to add that, because every human is going to have some level of experience that they might want to tailor the specific AI answer. So I view it as the balance is have AI help me be more efficient, but I still provide kind of like that final answer or final validation.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I think Rajendra Pal has asked like the question of the hour. Do you think will you eventually see communities that are self-managed using intelligent systems that they can manage everything on their own? Amanda?
I think that we're going to see agentic AI become more and more autonomous, but I still don't see agentic AI acting without the human collaboration. And will that human collaboration decrease? I think certainly, absolutely. I think the way that we deliver support and services is going to change drastically and very quickly. But I don't envision a space where that's ever without human intervention or collaboration. I could be wrong, but that's my gut, right? But I do think it's going to become more and more autonomous. And I think that that's going to be because of effective collaboration. And I also think about, well, gosh, then what else could those moderators and those community managers be doing that is really value driven?
Sure.
Yeah, I would concur with that.
So those are all the questions that we can take on for now. Thank you so much, Amanda and Preston. I'll hand it over to Ben for now. Thank you.
That was such an insightful discussion. Real use cases, clear learnings, and honest reflections on where AI adds value and where it still needs care. Thank you to the entire panel and the moderator for the great session and very relevant insights. As we continue down this journey on building and scaling communities, let's head to our next session, Online Communities as GTM Accelerators.